Welcome, Matrix. If you guys are writing notes at home, you can write these down so long. We're going to sort of fill in between. We're just going to wait for a couple more people to join, and then we're going to jump straight in to future value annuities. Okay. Okay, if you've just joined, if you're writing notes on your side, you can write these as headings just to save some time when we get going once a couple more people have joined, and we're going to jump straight into future value annuities. Those of you who have done finance in Matrix already, who have done it or are in the process of doing it, can you just let me know in the chat section how you felt about future value annuities? So like 10 is you felt really good about them, 0 would be I felt absolutely terrible at the end of the section. So just give me an idea of where you're at with future value annuities, but only obviously if you've done them in Matrix already. Okay. Cool. Okay, I'm just going to get going. So I'm going to turn my video off just because you'll be staring at my ceiling. But again, like I said in our last lesson, I'm here. If you have questions, please ask. Don't ever feel like you're interrupting me. I'm happy to answer anything that is bothering you. Okay, so let's just jump in straight from the beginning. What is an annuity? So like an annuity is like a really sort of very specific thing, and it's something that only comes up from Matric. An annuity is when we have a fixed or a regular payment. So it means that I am like paying either towards something or paying off something regularly. So every month, every 2 months, or every 3 months, but I'm making regular payments, and those payments are the same amount. So the reason this is different to what we've already done is because what we've been learning up to grade 11 is like you have a bulk sum of money that gets put in for a certain amount of time, and it just gains interest over time. And now what we're doing is we're saying, well, we're actually going to add the same amounts of money regularly, or take away the same amount of money regularly as we move forward. So that's what an annuity is. If we're looking at what is a future value annuity, if you kind of take it from its name, future value means we're building up to something in the future. So we're building up a lump sum of money. Oh, my spelling's gone all over the place today. Okay, so an example of a future value annuity would be something like a pension fund. So when you start working and you sort of putting money the company that you work for will often pay towards your pension, or you'll put money into a pension fund, and that money slowly is added every year so that when you can't work anymore and you retire, you get that fund, you get that lump sum of money. Or some people ask for their pension to be paid out sort of more like a salary once they've stopped working. Both of those are the same thing. Another option of a future value annuity is any kind of savings account. If we are adding money regularly, so we're adding the same amount at a consist like every 2 months or every month. So that's sort of what a future value annuity is. And it's one of our new formulas in Matric. Now, if you haven't done this, I don't want you to panic. It looks much, much scarier than it is. So I'm going to write out this formula. I want you to remember that you don't have to learn this off by heart. It will be given to you on your formula sheet. And we're just going to talk about what each thing means. So our future value is equal to X, then in brackets, 1 plus I to the power of N minus 1 all over I. So this is our future value annuity formula. It is on your formula sheet. We don't panic, okay? The most important thing is for us to know when it's a future value question, and that's what we're going to be talking about a lot today. So let's just break down what each thing is. The FV is actually saying that future value. So if I'm thinking of like a savings account and I'm putting money in every month, it would be that end lump sum of money. That is my future value. So it's the end amount of money. And then we have X. That is my regular payment amount. So if I'm paying 1,000 Rand each month, that would be my X value because that's my regular payment. N, it's the how many times we're making payments. Or our time frame. And then I is our interest. Okay, so these are things we already know. We know them from our other formulas. X is new and FV is new. If you would like to understand how you get to this formula, the way that the formula is derived is on the Watobi app. So you can just go on there, you click on the link for financial maths in Matric, and then under future value, it will say how the formula is derived. You just click on that video and you can watch it. Makes perfect sense. Okay. All right, let's move on to an example. So this first one, oh, hold on, let me stop here. Does anyone have any questions at this point? Or anything that doesn't make sense in the formula? Okay, can I ask that you all please write that formula down on whatever you are working with, just so that you've got it there as a reference as we work through the next few questions. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of time to write it down, just in case you didn't. Cool. Okay. So this first example, I'm going to go through with you really slowly. We're going to break it up. I'm going to show you some strategies to help make it a bit more sense. And then in the next one, I'd like you to try and work through it alone. And we're going to go through that afterwards. So let's break down this question. You deposit 2,500 Rand into an account each month. Okay. So because it's a regular payment, we know that it is an annuity. We know that it's not just a compound interest or simple interest question. We know that it is an annuity question. Now, these types of things may sound silly, but this is how we figure out which formula to use. And that's really the biggest thing we need to work out in financial maths. Okay. So we know then that our X value is 2,500 Rand. Our N value, we know that it's 3 years, but we still need to figure out how often we're making those payments. So let's go through the rest so far. Interest is at 8% per annum compounded monthly. Okay, so our interest is 8% compounded monthly, which means our N is going to be 3 times 12, which is 36. Okay, so we have X, we have N, we have I. Determine the amount of money you have in your account after 3 years. So because we're looking at something in the future, so something where money is slowly building up, that's how we know it's a future value annuity. So there's a whole lot of keywords in here which really help us figure things out. So this is what we're looking for. At this point, because we've written everything down as we went, we can just put it straight into our formula and we can solve for our answer. So we want to know what our future value is. So that's going to be, I'm just going to write this formula down. For anyone who's just joined and you haven't seen the formula, quickly jot it down. Make sure you have it in your notes. Okay, that's our future value annuity formula. And now we're going to put in our values. So we know X is 2,500 Rand. 1 is just the number 1. So nothing happens to 1. Our interest is 8% compounded monthly. Our N is 36. And then we're going to minus 1 all over our interest, which is 8% over 12. Okay, we chuck that straight into our calculator just like that. And I really would like for you all to take your calculators out now and input these numbers to make sure we're all getting the same value as each other. So grab your calculator, push your fraction key, and get started. So we're going to put in the 2,500 bracket 1 plus 8% over 12, close bracket, power 36 minus 1, all over 8% over 12. And you should get a total of 101,338 Rand and 89 cents. Let's go to 2. Should be. Okay. So this is as easy as a future value annuity question can get. It can't get easier than this because they're not trying to trick us in any way. Okay, does anyone need me to sit on this question any longer? Does anyone have any questions from here? Cool. Okay, so this one I'd like you all to do yourselves. There's the question has been written, and then there are 4 different answers. I want you to try do the whole question yourself, work it out, use your formula, and see if you get any of the same answers that I got. Let's see. Okay, think about what you're looking for, what you have. If you have any questions while you're working, please feel free to unmute and ask, or you can put them in the chat. I don't mind. While you're working, I'm going to sort of start talking you through some important things here. We're wanting to save 500,000. So think about what that's telling us. Okay. You open a savings account, you make 72 monthly payments. That's telling us our end value. Our interest is 12% compounded monthly. So think about what that I is. And they're wanting to know what our monthly installment is, which means we don't know what X is. Okay, so write out a list of all the information we know and what we don't know, put it into your formula, and then solve for the variable that you don't have. So in our case, you're going to be solving for X. And when you have an answer, you can just write it in the comments if you got A, B, C, or D. And if you didn't get any of them, that's also okay. Okay. Oh, we have our first answer. Nice. I'm not going to say if it's right or wrong yet, just while we wait for some other people to start answering. But I promise I'll tell you just now. Oh, another B. Another B. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. What I'm going to do is I'm going to write out what our formula, I'm going to input everything into the formula, and then you should be able to see where you're at. Okay, so we should have had 500,000 because that's our future value. It's equal to X is what we don't know. 1 plus our interest rate, which is 12%. Sorry, I've been writing percentages. Let me write it as percent. 12% compounded monthly for 72 payments. I'm going to subtract 1. And all of that is going to be over our 12% over 12. Oh, I've done it again, guys. My habit is to write decimals. It's a strange habit. Okay, -1. And we are trying to solve for this X value. So if I'm trying to solve for that X value, then basically what I want to do is I want to say 500,000 divided by this whole thing in your calculator. So many B's. It's a lot of B's. Are we just on the B train? So it's very close for all my B's. It's very, very close. But the correct answer here was actually C. So when we put it into our calculator, what we'll end up getting is we'll get X is equal to 4775,096. And so I can see why you're wanting to say 0.09 because you can see them. Yes, the rounding off. Exactly. That's exactly what happened. You see, oh, and isn't that such an irritating thing? So the 6 is affecting the 9, which is making it 0.10. It got you guys. The rounding got you. Okay, let's try another question though. Well done, because you were so close and I can see you did all the right things. It was literally just rounding. Good. I hope that they're feeling okay so far. All right, let's have a look at another question. This one is kind of broken up into little bits. So there's a little bit of stuff from last year and then some new stuff. So first question, a company buys a bus for 500,000 Rand. The bus depreciates. So if it's depreciating, it's meaning it's losing value. Okay. Remember, I think I said this on Tuesday, like as soon as you get in your car, as soon as you start driving it, it starts losing money. It's depreciating. So as soon as something's being used, it's depreciating. There are very few big purchases that sort of increase with time, like homes. Like if you were able to buy a property, that's generally something that would appreciate. It wouldn't depreciate. Okay, so the bus depreciates at 15% per annum on a reducing balance. We spoke about that on Tuesday. The cost of the bus will increase by 6% per annum. So there's a lot of information in this question. A, calculate the book value of the bus in 5 years' time. When it says calculate the book value, it's basically just saying what will it be worth? So what will its value be in 5 years' time? So my first question to you is, which one of these formulas should I use to figure out what my bus will be worth in 5 years' time? I love the question mark. That made it great. That makes me giggle. Oh, did someone speak? I missed it.
I'm
Hello?
sorry, it's me.
Oh, yes.
Can you
Hello.
hear me? Isn't it E?
So can you tell me, I can tell you it's not E. Can you tell me,
Oh,
can you try and explain to me why it's not E?
oh, yes, because E determines the future value of the car, but now we're looking for when what is value after 5 years, so it depreciates, right?
Good.
So,
Yes.
so it's gonna be
So we know
so
it's
it's gonna
either
be
going to be,
B.
okay. So if we're looking at D, if it's a reducing balance, so what you're saying is beautiful. I'm just going to reiterate what you're saying there because it was wonderful. So we know it's not E because even though we're looking at something in 5 years' time, we're not looking at something where I'm making regular payments to like build up something. My car is depreciating. So if it's depreciating, it's either it's either going to be B or it's going to be D. Okay, because that's depreciation. And you've chosen D. Can you tell me why you've chosen D?
Because it's compound interest, right? So
Yeah,
we're going to minus with compound interest.
we are. And it's because they've told us it's a reducing balance. Yay, well done. Thank you so much for answering.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yay. Look how much happier you've made me. Guys, this is why I love it when you ask the questions. I'm like filled with joy and sunshine now. Okay, so it's definitely D. D is our reducing balance when we're looking at depreciation over time. So now that you have that and you have your interest and you have your original amount, can everyone work out A for me? Trying to, here we go. Okay. So I've put the little grocery list of things that we know on the right-hand side, so that should help you. And then you should all be able to find the value of A. And I get a total of 221,852,66. Let's see if you guys get the same number as me, or if you don't. Okay. How crazy is that though? Let's just take a minute to sort of take that all in. This bus is 500,000 and in 5 years, it's now only just over 200,000. That's how much that value just disappeared. Okay, cool. Okay, so let's have a look at the next part of this question. So they kind of all follow on from each other. How much would the bus cost if I wanted to replace it in 5 years' time? So now this is saying, I'm not looking at this particular bus. I know that a bus's value is about 500,000 at this point in time. I'm wanting to know what would that value essentially be in 5 years' time if I'm thinking about something called inflation? So the inflation is one of those things that where you have your grandparents, they come talk to you and they're like, in my day, a loaf of bread was only 1 rand. And they're not wrong. It was, okay? And things slowly increase over time because of inflation. So I want you to think about that and then sort of figure out what that bus would be worth in 5 years' time. Read the question carefully because we're not looking at how much it's depreciating per year. We're looking at how much it will increase per year. Two very different things. This question sort of set up like this comes up remarkably often in test situations and end of years, except they like to use tractors for some reason. Tractor seems to be the go-to. I see we have something in the chat. Just open that quickly. Done. Okay, cool. So if we are wanting to find out its cost in 5 years' time, we would be putting it into our compound interest formula because that's how we work out inflation. So our A value is going to be our P, which is 500,000, 1 plus, now it's at 6% for 5 years. And we're using compound interest because it's inflation. Chuck that straight into our calculator and it gives us a value of 669,112,79. Okay. Did we get that right answer? Can you guys let me know either by unmuting or in the chat? Cool. Awesome.
Ma'am, can I ask a question?
I'd love it if you asked a question.
So when we're calculating inflation, isn't it simple interest?
No. So inflation is always compound interest. The only thing that's definitely simple interest is something called hire purchase. But hire purchase is something you do in grade 10 and then you don't really revisit it again.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay, no problem. Thank you for asking. Okay, C, how much additional money does the company need in order to buy the new bus in 5 years' time if the old bus is traded in at its book value? So basically we're saying in 5 years' time, I want to be able to buy this bus, which costs this amount of money. And if I was able to trade in my bus that is now worth this, how much would I still need? All we're going to do here is we are going to subtract. Okay. So they will still need 447,260 Rand and 13 cents, which is a lot of money to try and make up in 5 years. All right, let's have a look at the last part of this question. The company sets up a sinking fund. Now, this is another thing that we just have to start sort of knowing. Sinking funds was something that you did in grade 11 finance, but you always use timelines. Now that we know the future value annuity formula, we can use that for a sinking fund. So a sinking fund is something that I'm putting money in each month to prepare for something in the future. So if I'm in any kind of job where I know I'm going to have to buy things in a certain amount of time, I would be investing in a sinking fund. So it's something that we need to know is always going to be a future value annuity. When we see the words sinking fund, your brain must be like future value. Okay, so what quarterly deposits are needed if interest is added at 7% per annum compounded quarterly? So let's break up what information we have here. First of all, we know what amount we need to save. So that is our future value. 447,260,13. That is our future value. Okay. They've also told us that we're making quarterly deposits, which means, and things are being compounded quarterly. So our interest rate is going to be 7% over 4. What would our N be? Who thinks they can figure it out? I know that you're sitting there with the answer in your brain. 20. Yes, exactly. It will be 20. Well done. That's 100% right. Okay, because we have 5 years and we're making 4 payments each year. So that gives us a total of 20. Okay, so we have our future value, we have our interest, we have our N, and we are looking for our X value. Can you all please try and find that X value for me? So into your calculators, use your formula, input what you're needing. I'll help you out and write it out over here. Oh, let me just write this out. And remember, we are seeking that guy. Okay, we should get an X value of 18,870 Rand and 45 cents. This is a lot of money. So that means that you are needing to make that payment 4 times a year for 5 years if you're wanting to be able to replace this in that amount of time. Just a lot of money. Sorry, I see this chat. I'm opening it now. Beautiful. Okay. Okay, so from here, I'm going to go to a slightly nastier question. So I feel like we've kind of done the basics of future value. I've shown you a question where we integrate a little bit of last year's work into future value. And now our next question we're going to look at is going to be a little bit nasty. So in financial maths in matric, because they've given you the formulas, the only way the examiner can be mean, which is what we like doing as maths teachers, is to trick you with certain things. And the one thing they like to trick you with is N, the time frame. It's their favorite thing to trick you with. Okay, so when you read a question, the first thing that's really important is you to understand which formula to use, because if you have the wrong formula, it's all downhill from there. The second thing is to, when you write that grocery list of your information, make sure you've got everything accurate and always focus on that N value and make sure your N is correct. So let's read through this question. Sarah starts saving on her 40th birthday with monthly deposits of 2,000 Rand. So first of all, while we're reading this, we need to start seeing some keywords. She starts saving. Okay, she's saving for something in the future. She's making monthly deposits. Those two connected together tell us it's a future value annuity question. These are the things we need to start picking up. Okay, and that's telling us our X value. Her last payment is on her 55th birthday. If interest is earned at 18% per annum compounded monthly, how much will she have on her 55th birthday? Okay, I want you to think about it. Let it simmer in your brain juices. And I want you to try and figure out what N is going to be. Is it going to be A? Is it going to be B? Or is it going to be C?
Wouldn't it be A? Or can I have answer?
Well, I don't know. I want to wait for everyone to give an answer.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize. I love that you answered. It's good. We have an answer of A. Let's see what other people think. I am going to say that I'm trying to trick you in this question. That's what I'm going to say. We have a C. Okay, so we have an A and we have a C. Another A, all right. A B, a B. Okay, we've got some more A's. Okay, so at the moment, A is definitely winning. We have the most A's. A is the one which everyone is enjoying. However, the correct answer is my two little lonely B's, Sia and Sola, who got B. You are the only two who got that 100% right. It is 100% B. So well done to you two. Woo! Okay. For those of you who said A, you fell for my trap. This was my trap, and you just walked straight in. Because if my birthday is in October and I'm putting money in every month after my birthday, when I get back to my birthday, it's actually been 13 months, not 12. It's 12 months just before my birthday. So if I'm putting it in October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, that's 12 months. Back in October is 13. So it's 15 times 12 plus 1, because it's that extra month. So sneaky. It's a sneaky, sneaky question, but well done to my bees. She immediately placed it in her account because it says on her 40th birthday. I told you I was trapping you. I gave you warning. I basically put big red triangles all around. Okay, on her 40th birthday, she paid, but they want to know on her next birthday. And so our answer is definitely B. Okay, so now we have our N value. You now know enough about future value in order to work out the rest of this question. So I want you to try and figure out what our future value amount would be. And when you have your answer, it would be great if you could chuck it into the chat. Remember, you always round off your answers to 2 decimal places.
Can you just let me know in the chat? Ms. G?
Yep.
Were you frozen? I think you may have been frozen for a bit.
Oh. Can you see me and hear me?
Okay. I can hear you and see you now.
Okay.
Cool. Sorry about that.
Guys, if I froze for everyone, all you're doing is you're working out the future value of this question and you're going to put your answer in the chat for me. Does anyone need the formula? Just let me know if you do. Okay. How do you know what to divide? Okay, just for this question here, what to divide the number with, or oh, okay. So okay, let me put it up on the board. Okay. All right. So let's have a look. So when we're working with our future value here, okay, we're going to have our X value. Let me just move things around. Okay, so we have our 2,000 Rand that we're paying. Then we've got 1 plus. Now we know that for interest, it's 18% per annum, but it's telling us that it's being compounded monthly. So because it's being compounded monthly, I need to divide that interest by 12. If it said it was being compounded quarterly, then I would divide my interest by 4. If it said it was being compounded semi-annually, then I would divide my interest by 2. So that's how we know what we're dividing our interest by. So we're going to have 1 plus 18% over 12 to the power of 181. That was the trick there. So now if you had done that in your exam and you wrote 180, which lots of people would have done because they specifically were trying to trick you, you would only have lost 1 mark. So it's not the end of the world. Okay, minus 1, put that all into your calculator, and I got a total of 184.0. So far I've got the same as what's happening up in the comments, which is good. Then I get 417. Oh, we're so close. 0.76. Yay. I feel like we're becoming financial geniuses. It's very exciting. Now we've got a whole group of people to become accountants and bankers. It's great. Okay, let's have a look at our next question. It's still sort of part of this one. Now it gets a little bit tricky. It's not actually so bad though. So they want to know how much money Sarah will have when she retires at 60. Okay, so basically what's happening to this money, and lots of this financial like maths questions work this way, where they'll give you parts of a question. We know that this whole process started on her 40th birthday. Okay, we know on her 55th birthday, we know now how much money she had in the account because we've just worked that out. Okay, they want to know how much she's going to have in that account on her 60th birthday. Is she still making regular payments between 55 and 60? Yes or no?
Oh. No.
No, she's not. She's not making regular payments. But that money is sitting in an account for 5 years. And whenever money sits in an account, it gains interest, which means that this whole time over here, that money is just gaining, oh goodness. Oh, I did spell it right. Compound interest. That's all that's happening. So all we're going to do is we're going to chuck this into our compound interest formula. That's now our p-value. We're going to put it into our compound interest formula. We know that our n value is going to be 5 years, but she's making 12 payments each year. So our n value is 60. So we have n, we have I, we have p. You can find a. We get a nice big number, 4,496,545 Rand and 7 cents. The glories of compound interest. Okay. All right, let's try another one. you want to have a nasty one or do you want to have a medium one? I don't know. Maybe I should be nasty. Does anyone have a preference? If you have a preference for a nasty one, this is your time to a medium. Okay, we have a preference. I'm going with medium. Thank you for your preference. This is like how when you order food, you want it to be mild or medium or spicy. That's how I'm going to ask you questions from now on. And I'm going to be very excited when people start saying spicy. Okay, if we're going medium, then we're not going to do this one. We are going to do this one. Okay. So I will tell you that there's something extra that happens in this question, but I'm not trying to trick you with anything with the future value. So my hint to you is work out what you know how to work out for your future value. And if you don't know what to do after that, that's okay. But there would be something additional to do. And I would like you to give this question a try. Read through it carefully. So on the first day of every month, you save 1,000 Rand. So we know it's a future value annuity. How much do you have at the end of 5 years from now, the 31st of December, if interest is at 8% per annum compounded monthly? So everyone should feel comfortable to be able to do the future value of this. And then if you get stuck, that's okay. I will happily help you. Okay, so I've put the information that's important on the left-hand side over there, so you should all be able to put that into your future value. Take the time you need to make sure you're inputting it into your calculator correctly. I can't stress that enough. Okay, and we know that that interest is going to be divided by 12 because they told us that it was compounded monthly. Okay. So my future value amount lands up being 73,476 Rand. And then I'm going to write all of my decimals that I have here. So 85625. I know in finance, we normally round off to 2 decimal places, but because this isn't my final answer, I want to keep the integrity of all of my decimals so that it doesn't change my final answer. Can anyone think of what the last step would be? Because this isn't my final answer. It's kind of linked to the birthday situation because I'm making a payment on the first day of every month and I'm taking my payment out on the 31st of December. Do you have any suggestions happening in the comments?
I'm not sure, but can I try?
Absolutely, I'd love it.
With the answer you got to times it with the bracket of 1 plus the interest.
Perfect. Can you tell me why?
No, I can't.
Okay, but that was so great. You definitely are. You're timesing it by the bracket of interest. The reason I'm doing that is because when that was a very much not straight line. Okay. On the 1st of December, that's when I would have my future value amounts that you've just worked out. That's the 1st of December because I'm putting in those payments at the beginning of every month, according to my question, on the first day of every month. But that money is just sitting in my account until the 31st of December, which means it's sitting in an account gaining interest. So we're going to take this amount, so 73476,85625, and we are going to use our compound interest formula. So 1 plus 8% compounded monthly for 1 month. And we chuck that into our calculator. And that answer will be 73966,70. Well done. Okay. Let's try another one. Does anyone need to sit here any longer? All right. Welcome to another trap. Okay. Example 7. Jenna wants to save 200,000 Rand for 2 years from now. 3 months from now, she starts paying a monthly contribution into an account with an interest rate of 9% per annum, compounded monthly. What is her monthly contribution? My question to you is, what is N? What would N be? Is N going to be A, which is 24? Is N going to be B, which is 21? Or is N going to be C, which is 22? Put your answers in the comments. I'm ready. Think it through. Acknowledge that I'm trying to trick you. Okay, so think through it carefully, and when you have your answer, just put your A, B, or C in the comments. Okay, we have a B, another B. Are we just going with B because B was right last time? Let's see. Oh, we have lots of Bs. B is definitely the popular letter. I feel very bad for A and C right now. No one's sitting with them. All Bs. Oh, wild card C. I like it. Wild card. Bring it in there. A. Thank you, Kanya. Someone sitting with A. Poor little A, eating their lunch by themselves. Okay. So we have almost a unanimous B, and then we have wild card C, and we have Kanya who's supporting us with A. I'd love to say that the majority rule with B, but they don't. And I'm going to tell you that B is incorrect, but I'm not going to tell you which one's right just now. What I would like you to do is to rethink your answer. And it's either A or C. Which door is it? We don't know. There's a million rand behind the one door and there's a donkey behind the other. So let's see. Oh, C with capital letters. Oh, I don't know. The tension is too high. Okay. So we're being torn now between A and C. I'm going to take you out of your misery. It's C. Okay, why is it C? You're going to be like, how is it C? Wild card, it pulled through for you. This is why we take chances, okay? Woo! So the thing is that, and I know why you chose B. That's the trap. You walked right in, and I saw it coming. Okay. Because I said that she starts paying 3 months from now. So you were like, okay, so it's 24 minus 3 because it's a 3-month delayed payment. But the thing is, with future value, you don't normally make an immediate payment. You make a payment 1 month in. So if I'm looking at this payment situation, okay, I'm thinking, well, this would be time period 1, time period 2, time period 3. She missed that payment. But she does make payment 3. And that is 3 months. So 3 months have passed, even though only 2 payments have been missed. And that's why N would be 22. Again, I was trying to trick you though. I'm being nasty. Okay, so this one, now that I've given you N, let's try and end this lesson on a high. Can you please find my future value here? And can you please chuck that answer? Oh no, we're not looking for her future value. I'm looking for my monthly contributions. I'm looking for X. Once you have found the value for X, can you please chuck it in the comment section for me? I'm going to give you a couple minutes. Thanks so much for your interaction tonight, guys. I really enjoyed it. I'm hoping those of you who've done financial maths who were not feeling great with future value are feeling a little bit more solid with it now. But remember, there are so many exercises on the app. There's also some try it's, which is just specifically on future value questions that you can try yourself. And then there's me giving you the answer a little bit later if you struggled. Okay, so you're finding your X value. Once you have that X value, you can just chuck it into the comments for me. I can tell you it should be around the 8,000s. So if it's drastically off from that, then you know you've made a mistake somewhere. Beautiful. Those are all the right answers that I'm seeing. Excellent. Okay, so that's what it would look like in our formula. We're trying to find X. So basically we're saying 200,000 divided by all of this. And we get a nice X value of 8,395 and 50 cents. Well done, guys. Oh, we have a 49 cents. It's just a rounding error. Well done, everyone. I'm super stoked. Thank you for this lesson. I've had a good time, and I'm passing the mic on to Coco.
Thank you so much, Ms. G. That was so much fun. I almost got a donkey there. You did almost have me there, but I've got my million. I got my million. Thank you.
I'm so glad.
Okay, back to the business. I'm going to have to share now, Ms. G. Thank you. I'm just going to spotlight myself. Okay. Hello, everyone. I know some of you already know who I am. I am Coco. I am one of the tutors here at Watobi. If you have ever asked for a video when you were working on the app or needed help from a tutor, I'm probably one of the people on the other side of that chat that you have on your app. Okay, so we're just going to be looking at a bit of homework that you guys need to go through, and this is on the app. Luckily enough, Ms. G has actually done a lot of the homework that you guys will be seeing on the app, so you'll be hearing a lot more of her voice as you go through your homework. I'm just going to show you guys where we can find this. Okay, so if we go to the app, we are going to be looking at, I need to tell you guys that we've done future value annuities today. And next week, Tuesday, on the 3rd of August, Ms. G will be going through present value annuities. So we're going to be doing kind of the opposite of what you guys were doing today. And we're going to be looking at what that's like. So hope to see you all with us next week, Tuesday. And the homework that we have to go through, you're going to click on topics and you're going to find finance there. And then you're going to scroll down and look for future value annuities. And if you scroll down a little bit further inside future value annuities, you're going to find a subtopic called summary of future value annuities. And that particular question will take you through everything, or the videos in there will take you through everything you've just done with Ms. G today, along with a try it video where you get to pause and try the question before you keep playing the video so you can see if you're on track. Okay, that's all that we're going to be doing for today. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. And I don't know if you guys feel comfortable, if you can just unmute your mics for me, and we're all going to give Ms. G a huge round of applause for all the work that she's done for us today. Okay, here we go. You guys ready? Let's go, let's go.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ms. G.
Lush.
Thanks, guys, for joining us. We'll see you all next week, Tuesday.
Yeah.
Okay,
Have a lovely
bye.
evening, everyone.